There's something different about the moment you stopped and clicked on this. Not the algorithm, not curiosity. Something deeper recognized that this message was calibrated for exactly where you're standing right now. And here's what makes this moment unlike any other video you've watched this year. You'll only see this once, right before it finally happens. Not as a prediction, as a recognition. Because something in your life is about to shift. And if you're not mentally present for the next few minutes, you're going to miss the moment that changes everything. Not some magical external event, the internal click that reveals what's been blocking you all along. This isn't about manifestation or miracles. This is about awareness, finally waking up enough to see what's been true the entire time. And that awakening, it starts now. Let me talk to you the way someone who actually cares about your future would, not someone trying to make you comfortable, because comfort is exactly what's been keeping you stuck. You've been asking the universe for a sign, and this is it, right here, not in the way you expected. You were probably hoping for some external validation, some obvious door opening, some person showing up to confirm you're on the right path. But that's not how this works. The sign isn't outside you, it's inside you. It's the irritation you've been feeling, the restlessness, the sense that you've been playing a game you're tired of playing. That's not anxiety. That's your system trying to tell you something's ready to die so something real can finally live. You've been waiting for things to change while refusing to change the things that keep you waiting. And I need you to hear this without defensiveness, without justification, without the familiar story you tell yourself about why it's different for you. You want new results with old habits, new relationships with old boundaries, new opportunities with old energy. And it doesn't work that way. You cannot pour new wine into old containers and expect it to hold. The container cracks, the wine spills, and you're left standing in the mess, wondering why nothing ever works out for you. But it's not that nothing works. It's that you keep trying to fit expansion into spaces designed for your smaller self. You've outgrown the container, but you're still trying to live inside it because leaving feels like loss. But staying is the real loss, and you know it. You've known it for months. You're just afraid to admit it, because the moment you do, you also have to take responsibility for what comes next. Here's what's going to happen very soon. Not because I'm predicting your future, but because your awareness is finally irritated enough to notice what's been there all along. You're going to see clearly who actually respects your growth, and who only felt comfortable when you were small. You're going to catch yourself reaching for an old comfort, scrolling, numbing, distracting, and something inside you is going to whisper, that doesn't work anymore. You're going to face a choice, maybe a small one, maybe a massive one, and for the first time in a long time, you're going to feel the difference between what you've always done and what you're becoming capable of doing. That moment is a shift, not dramatic, not loud, just clear. And clarity is the most disruptive force in a life built on autopilot. People think transformation is some inspirational movie moment where everything suddenly makes sense and the path forward is obvious. But that's not how it works. Transformation is uncomfortable. It's confrontation. It's standing in front of a mirror and admitting you've been tolerating things you should have walked away from years ago. It's realizing the version of yourself you've been defending is the exact version that's been keeping you stuck. You don't evolve without letting some things die. You don't rise without leaving some people where they are. You don't move forward without admitting you've been standing still. And if nobody's told you this, let me be the one. You've been carrying relationships, habits, and mindsets that have already expired. You're holding on to things that served you once, but are suffocating you now. And the reason this message found you at this exact moment is because your life is about to expose what's been blocking your progress. Let me give you a way to see this. Imagine you're standing in a room that's slowly filling with water. At first, it's just ankle deep, uncomfortable, but manageable. You convince yourself you can adapt. The water rises to your knees. You adjust. You tell yourself, it's fine. Everyone deals with this. This is just what life feels like. The water reaches your waist, your chest, and you're still standing there, still adapting, still convincing yourself that leaving the room would be harder than staying. But here's the thing about that rising water. It doesn't stop because you're good at adapting. It doesn't care how long you've been standing there or how much you've already endured. It just keeps rising, And eventually, you have two choices. You can drown, or you can swim to the door. Most people wait until the water's at their neck before they move. But you're getting this message while you still have time, while the door is still visible, while you can still choose to leave before you're forced to. That room is every situation you've outgrown, but refuse to leave. Every relationship that's been draining you, but you're too loyal to walk away from. Every job that's been suffocating your potential, but you're too afraid to quit. Every version of yourself you've been clinging to because letting go feels like losing your identity. The water has been rising, you've been adapting, and now you're here, watching this video because some part of you knows the water is too high. Some part of you is ready to swim. And that readiness, that's the shift. That's what happens right before everything changes. Not the external circumstances shifting, but you finally being done with the internal negotiation. The universe doesn't operate on your preferences. It operates on alignment. And alignment doesn't mean everything feels easy or perfect. It means you're finally living in integrity with what you know is true. You've known for a long time what needs to change. You've just been hoping that if you waited long enough, the change would happen to you instead of requiring something from you. But that's not how this works. Change doesn't happen to you. It happens through you. And it only begins when you stop negotiating with reality and start responding to it. When you stop asking why this is happening and start asking what you're supposed to learn from it. When you stop waiting to feel ready and start moving anyway. Here's the part most people miss. The shift doesn't require you to have all the answers. It doesn't require you to see the whole path. It just requires you to be honest about where you're standing. To stop pretending you're okay with things you're not okay with. To stop defending choices that are costing you your peace. To stop giving your energy to people who wouldn't give you their attention. The moment you get honest, the moment you stop performing and start living from the truth of what you actually feel, everything begins to reorganize around that honesty. Doors close, people leave, opportunities disappear, and it feels like loss, but it's not loss. It's clearing. It's the universe removing what was never meant to stay, so there's finally room for what's been trying to reach you. And very soon you're going to see this more clearly than you ever have. You're going to notice the gap between what you say you want and what you're actually doing. You're going to feel the weight of the excuses you've been carrying. You're going to recognize the difference between people who challenge you to grow and people who keep you comfortable because your smallness makes them feel safe. You're going to catch yourself in a pattern and realize you have a choice. You can repeat it or you can break it. And breaking it doesn't require motivation. It just requires decisiveness. One clear decision that says, I'm not doing this anymore. That's it. That's the shift. Not a surge of inspiration. Just a quiet, firm line drawn in the sand. Now, here's what I need you to understand before this moment passes. You're not behind. You're not late. You're not forgotten. You're unchallenged. You've been surrounded by people who don't demand better from you. You've been living in environments that let you stay small. You've been comfortable for so long that growth feels like punishment, but your future is suffocating under the weight of your hesitation. And the moment you stop hesitating, everything accelerates. Doors open faster. Clarity comes sooner. People reveal themselves immediately, and your system recognizes alignment instantly. That's what's happening right now. Clarity, conviction, a moment where you look at something or someone or some habit and you just know. This is where it changes. Not because the world changed, but because you did. Because you finally stopped babysitting your potential and started building with it. Because you stopped giving emotional discounts to people who've never paid full price for your presence. Because you stopped treating your life like it had extensions when you know it doesn't. If something in this message landed, if you felt that uncomfortable recognition that you've been standing in rising water while convincing yourself you're fine, I need you to do something right now. Go to the comments and type 2 words. I'm swimming. That's it. No explanation. Just that declaration. Because when you make a private realization public, something shifts. Your nervous system registers it. Your subconscious takes note. You've declared that the adaptation phase is over and the movement phase is beginning. And if you know someone who's been drowning in slow motion, someone who's been tolerating what's killing them, share this with them. Ask them to declare it too. I'm swimming. Let that be the line, the moment, the shift. Subscribe if you want to stay connected to this work. And if supporting through Super Thanks feels right, it directly fuels more content like this. But real talk, the fact that you're here, watching, listening, I don't take that for granted. Thank you. You've been waiting for change, but change has been waiting for you to stop negotiating, waiting for you to get honest, waiting for you to finally be as tired of your excuses as everyone around you has been. And that exhaustion, that's not weakness, that's readiness. That's your system telling you it's time, not next week, not when you feel more prepared. Now, right now, while you still have the awareness, while the door is still visible, while you can still choose to leave instead of being forced out. Sooner than you think, something is going to be revealed. An opportunity, a truth, a realization, a person's real intentions, a pattern you've been blind to, and the way you respond to it will determine the momentum of your next season. Don't shrink. Don't doubt yourself out of the door that's opening. Don't overthink your way back into the room that's been filling with water. Step through. Own it. Claim it. And this time, don't just hear the message, become it. Because very soon, you're going to look back and realize this was the moment you stopped pretending, the moment you took yourself seriously, the moment the water got too high and you finally swam. And here's what I promise you. What's waiting for you on the other side of that honesty, that movement, that decision? It's bigger than anything you've lost, bigger than anything you've outgrown, bigger than anything you've had to walk away from. Your future is already prepared. The only question left is whether you're finally ready to stop drowning and start swimming. The water's rising, the door's still open, but it won't be forever. So, what are you going to do? Keep adapting or finally move?